Ho, 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 ho. Whoa, 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 oh, 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 whoa, whoa, whoa. Alrighty. On that note, we are getting ready to start today's meeting. Woo. Come on. Come on. Focusing on me. Focusing on me. I'm right here. How y'all doing today? Alrighty. So, I want to welcome everybody today in our Instagram crowd, in our actual Zoom call meeting. I would like to thank everybody for coming out today. I would like to thank everybody for spending their time with us. You can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. You chose to better your knowledge and better you as a person and what you may or may not know already. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Morgan K. Saunders. I am one of the founders of Meeting of the Minds, and I would like to just go on and express what this is. So I let me start by saying, if you've seen any of the promotion I've done for this Meeting of the Minds, if you've seen anything that I did to make this one, it was much more complex and different than I've done any other event. I took more effort in, making flyers and posting them up in local areas such as Crenshaw, such as Inglewood. I even partnered with another great friend of mine named Star. She took the liberty of taking some of the promotion tactics to her in Chicago in her rural and suburban areas. And just to summarize it up, this is a project about degentrification. The last Meeting of the Minds focused on gentrification and what was it, what it is, sort of brainstorm how it's affected or people have known about it. This one is more of an action plan. This is a more step-by-step look of Meeting of the Minds wants to make an impact. And let me actually start by opening this up. Hold on. So we'll go here. And then we will go to, where's my meeting? Screen share. There we go. And okay. So Meeting of the Minds is generally focused on just bringing topics up and presenting them to us as people. What this gentrification project is a two-part step on how to go about degentrifying an area, not just for us as individuals, but for our community. And if you saw in the promotional tactics, I used it in a way of starting a project because I don't want people to get pigeonholed in the idea of what we're doing, because I want people to see the greater value of what I'm bringing to people. And it's starting a project in general. I feel like a lot of people in my generation per se, are very reactive or reactionary than proactive. And I feel that, everybody's fight is different. Everybody is after different goals and different achievements. You can even see that with, people who are content creators versus people who are doctors. It's two separate lanes, but we're all trying to fight a greater good, and we're all trying to bring a common message to people that may relate or may share in that. I say that, and I digress now. We got another one coming in. And I digress. So what I hope that you guys get from this, our Zoom audience, our YouTube audience, our Instagram audience, what I hope you really get from what I'm about to bring to the table today is to take action. If you see something that you want to achieve, you see something that's been bothering you and you don't know where to start, use us as the example of how you would start your 2-step plan, your 3-step plan, your 4-step plan, or your even your 1-step plan if you don't know where your second and third steps are coming from. So without further ado, I say all that. Let's get into the meeting. So again, this meeting of the minds number 3 is centered around starting a degentrification project. So if you don't know already, what is degentrification? And it skipped a slide. There we go. So degentrification is just a play on the word gentrification. Gentrification is when a power that B comes in and improves the district and conforms it to middle class standards. Well, degentrification is stopping those powers that be from taking that land and commercial property and flipping it to something that may not be beneficial to the people who originally own that community. Yes, the people in that community may have already been middle class or low class, or however you want to put it, but this degentrification project is to center around the powers that be that come in and take those opportunities away from our people, or people who may not have the resources to fund it as other businesses in richer communities. So and if you don't know, degentrification is in the long run will help us. It's going to help our legacy, and it's also going to help our economic power. It's going to help our legacy in the fact of this starts generational wealth. This is something that I would say over the last 10 years has been really talked about and brought about. And building generational wealth is a start for having our kids successful, and having our kids be able to start at a better level than we have already. You know, I can speak from, you know, probably some of my grandmother's perspectives on my mom's and on my dad's side. They didn't have as much as probably I have now, or they didn't have all the opportunities that I can just go out and do now, such as the right to vote, such as, you know, being able to be even respected and seen for high level job titles and positions just based off of our skin color. And that right there just is advancements in itself. But where we're trying to improve, where other cultures have gotten it right, is that they have passed on physical items more than money, because money can be spent, got as fast as you want. But physical items are what's ours on this earth to pass on and to continue forward with. So that's probably one of the best things that comes with degentrification. Another thing is we add character and history to a land that we frequent, a land that we bring value to every day. You know, I'll speak for myself. I live off of Crenshaw, and to be exact, I live off Crenshaw and Rosecrans. I've only lived here maybe a half a year, 6 months, but this is an area I frequent. I walk out on the street. Some people know me by my face. Some people know me by my name and call me out and say, "Hey, how you doing?" Just the other day, I was talking to a dude on the street who wants to play me in basketball. We've been talking about that. So if I frequent these areas and I am well versed in these areas, why wouldn't I as a human want something that physically represents and stands alone, that carries my presence for a long time? I'm noticing my camera here keeps going out. Let me try to fix that. Why wouldn't I want that? Why wouldn't I want something physical to represent me for years to come after I'm not here? So that's a benefit of stopping these people, stopping the powers that be from taking what is rightfully ours, or what is already ours, and flipping it for their own benefit, and us just watching it happen. Another important piece that we're going to get into now is economic power. Owning that land and property and these establishments on these buildings bring economic power to you. Think about it like this: if you bought a piece of land that's worth $100,000, your net worth is whatever it was plus $100,000. That's powerful. That gives you a better sense of, okay, I have this. In the event that something were to happen where I need a large sum of money, I have this piece of property that I can leverage for capital. That being $100,000, that being however much is worth at the time. Another thing to bring up under economic power is only a multitude of properties build your total equity. So think of it like this: if you own 3 properties, 100,000 a piece, your total equity is 300,000. That's how much you can pull from. I was just talking about that with, your presence and power. That's how much you can pull from. And this equity can be used for other things, such as bringing that to a bank, asking for a loan. I have this in leverage I can give to you. Or talking to other realtors wanting to purchase more properties. Oh, I have this much money in equity. Let me see if I can get another property at half my rate of equity and purchase this property, because they know, okay, he's good for it. He has some value, some personal piece of tangible evidence that shows that he, in the event, can pay for it right now. And then lastly, in economic power is that it circulates our money back within us and within what we are trying to, what we are trying to build in our community. I was actually just having a conversation with a good friend of mine the other day, and we were talking about black banks, and he has told me, I don't see, if you go into the Asian markets, they have, you look at the crest on their walls, they have it's an Asian bank. The white people, they have a white bank. Black people, we don't have banking within ourselves. And I told him pretty bluntly, I was like, I believe the reason why that doesn't happen is because there's a stigma with black people and handling money. And I don't feel that people in our community sort of trust the idea of a black-owned bank, which sounds very silly, but it's a realistic fact that I feel like that we need to address. And he looked at me and he said, you know what, I never thought of it like that. I just thought we didn't have black banks because we just didn't have black banks. I didn't realize there may have been a stigma with that. And that's something we do need to address. And I was like, you're 100% right. So to digress, the importance of circulating our money within our community is just very high with that. So I'll continue on. And what our plan as Meeting of the Minds is going to be to showcase and execute the process of acquiring these properties, primarily here in LA, in a majority black populated area that in danger of becoming gentrified, such as Crenshaw, such as Englewood, such as Watts. Another piece of that plan is to partner with people, investors, and organizations aligned with our goals and interested in joining this cause. So Instagram audience, YouTube, Zoom audience, if you're interested in being part of this movement with me in the mind, please contact me. I will have a sign-up sheet available at the end of the night. Again, I just appreciate you, but let's move forward. So, and then lastly, our plan will be to find city planning organizations and express our ideas to them to be implemented in the renovation ideas in the communities. What we're going to touch more into it, but in our PowerPoint, we don't need just money. There are government-funded organizations and programs that are willing to give us money for said renovations in our areas, but we have to have a plan. We have to have some sort of physical piece to present to them, and if it aligns with their goals, they will, without a doubt, just here, take it, build this. We need this. This is what the community needs alongside it. It's not always black and white. They just need to know people are thinking of the idea. So let's move forward. And the first step of starting a project or starting a degentrification project would be to scout ideal properties that are in danger or just up for sale at the current moment or being foreclosed. One property that has really stuck out to me since I've lived here, and that I hear everyone, this LA, LAOG, LA resident always talks about, the Liquor Bank. Liquor Bank off of Baldwin Hills and Crenshaw. The people on the Zoom meeting can see the pictures, but I've heard so much history about it. It's crazy as it sounds. I was actually on the bus. They were saying it was one point in the 90s, early 2000s where it was just like, oh, I'm looking for such and such. All right, well, is it to the left or the right of the Liquor Bank? So if it was that much of a staple to where it was just known, okay, it's here. Whereas if anything you're looking for is in the vicinity of this, we pretty much know where it's at. So what I heard is over the last about 5-6 years, this has been up for sale. It hasn't been there hasn't been anybody to buy it apparently, but it's looking like something that would be taken by the community, by them. So as I continue, once you find that said property, once you find something that you're looking to, that you feel like can be gentrified into something positive, into a positive spin before it's taken away, you want to find those records in the building records and the property records. So what I did is I went to zymus.lacity.org/map. And what you can do on Zymus is it's a government funded website where you can type in any address, cross street, anything, and it will give you the exact not speculations, but regulations and information about said property, all its resources, any type of report, such as like if it's been foreclosed, if it's going to a bank, if there's any type of project, government funded project already on it. You can even find out information such as the general plan of the property, such as this one is a liquor bank. It's a neighborhood commercial property. Let's see. And yeah, and then it gives you all sorts of different information. What I really found out about this is that this piece of property and a lot of the properties on this particular block of Crenshaw are underneath the redevelopment project, which is a government funded project, which we will get into later. So another website that I found useful was codelibrary.amlegal.com and ladbsdocument.lacity.org. These sites give you information on any type of permits, any type of document that's ever been registered underneath that property. So the deed, any type of certifications, if the building went under any type of construction, building permits, anything of that nature can be found on these websites. You can find that. It's also very good information because, say for instance, if this property was about to be foreclosed, you can even find that on these websites, and you can know where to start your search. You just know where to start, where you're trying to look for when going across these properties, when you're trying to actually purchase a property or go about revamping a property. So, and then this final step in this process that we came up with is the actual proper capital, and contact your city planning committees. A lot of cities outside of California have planning committees. Hey, Dad, a lot of cities outside of California have planning committees that you can contact that are currently working on these projects. So you don't have to start from ground zero. You can call them and reach out to them and get said information. So when it comes to acquiring capital, look at it as gaining leverage. You're looking to gain a position so that you can step to a bank, or you can step to whoever is in charge of this property and actually show them, hey, we have this to take ownership. Can we do so? So first step is you can contact investors. You can also build equity or build equivalent or greater equity by buying other properties. That's if you already are rolling the game. Say you're already in real estate, or you have someone who is known to be in the real estate field. You can contact them and actually, say for instance, 2 different people. You can contact them. They can they can come with their equity and move on one set property in an ideal world, or promote and build a public GoFundMe page, which is what we're currently doing. I'll plug that at the very end. And so let me kind of, so the planning committee that is currently on this property at the liquor bank is the Crenshaw redevelopment plan. Now, their information is here for people in the Zoom meeting, but they are located on 201 North Figueroa Street, Suite 525. Their phone number would be 213-202-5456. Again, this is all public information that can be found at planning.lacity.org/plans and policies overlays Crenshaw. Any area in Los Angeles can be found on the city planning website, which talks about the zoning in the different areas that are being currently worked on or being maneuvered with the city of LA and the government. Let's see. Now, what I found interesting in all this research is not all cities have this, not all states have this, but California has a general plan. I think that has to do with the fact that California is such a staple state. Every city in California is required to have an ideal plan with what they envision their future to be, usually between 5 to 10 years. So Los Angeles already has an idea of what the next 5 to 10 years is going to look like, what renovations need to be made, what needs to be changed, what areas will be torn down and rebuilt, all said sorts. So if you have any ideas that align with these said goals, you can actually go to your government, go to the LA city plannings, contact these organizations that are already starting, and let them know your ideas, and they will fund you to execute. Look at it just like a bank loan. Look at it just like any other action. And I have the websites here. Let me see if I can click on one. I would love to show y'all. But yeah, this will be the general plan overview of Los Angeles. They talk about everything from land use, air quality, conservation, what they're doing in health, safety, housing, noise, public facilities, open space, infrastructure, and mobility such as crosswalks or the upcoming train that's about to be implemented on Crenshaw, from Crenshaw all the way to the Expo line. Let me go back to the meeting. So moving forward, but the question is, I'm telling you all this stuff, but how do you actually go about it? They're not just going to hand you money. They're not just going to just send you a check and say, oh, that's a great idea. No, you got to go through certain acts such as the Mills Act and a website that I actually found out from my grandmother called HUD. So the Mills Act is an act that is a government-funded program that once you go through the process and explain what you want to do, they give anywhere between $1.5 million to $3 million for renovations, depending on, I believe it was 1.5 for any type of commercial, it was commercial housing, and it was $3 million for commercial, actually I have it right here. Hold on one second, people. Incentives programs. Yeah, it was 1.5 for single family residents and $3 million for multifamily residential, community, commercial, or industrial properties. So if you're looking to revamp housing in Los Angeles, the Mills Act will pay you $1.5 million for a single family house. So that's just a normal house on Crenshaw, normal house in Inglewood, normal house in Watts. But they will give you $3 million if you have a store idea, boutique idea, or a multi-purpose housing such as hotels or a wide-scale Airbnb or any type of industrial property. They will fund you, again, $3 million for commercial, multifamily residential, and industrial properties, and $1.5 million for single-family residents. So going back to the meeting. And then also let me talk about HUD.gov. HUD.gov is, now this is a nationally funded program from the government. This is, they help you from anywhere from learning about home ownership, rentals. They have homeless resources here. And also you can talk to a housing counselor if you're looking to actually go about and purchase housing for yourself. I briefed through this, but it seemed like such a great, useful tool that I had to include it. And I feel like it's also useful, especially when that you look at their actions. On Monday, August 31st of this year, HUD provides over 9.2 million in CARES Act funding to Native American tribes to support the coronavirus recovery efforts. I think that's pretty dope. HUD approves agreement involving California housing providers accused of housing discrimination. That was back on the 21st of this month. So HUD is a great resource, it seems like, when it comes to these said things. Let me continue on with the PowerPoint. So, and once great, wonderful, you found all these resources, you have this idea, you're ready to expand forward. But even when you get to these conversations, you need to have a solid action plan. You need to have a solid business plan to present to them, because just going up to them as Joe Blow on the block saying, I got this idea is never going to work. So ideas that we had going back to the liquor bank would be to start a security school, start a cafe, start a cooking school, start a senior citizens care center, a daily senior citizens care center, not as in like a retirement home, but is planning out, budgeting out these ideas, presenting to them, I feel is very useful in your process when starting a plan. Even if you don't have a how, but you have a why, these are your whys. I want to start a security school. That's your why. But how is your step-by-step process. Find the property, understand the backstory of that property, where it's currently sitting, what the financial status of that property is, and finding the organizations or finding the funding necessary to move in action. So that being said, that is it for the actual how to start a project. This is only the first step. Again, I want to thank you. If you're interested in joining us in this fight, I will have a sign-up sheet at the end of this. It will be available for you guys on Instagram, in the link in the bio of Meeting of the Minds. Will be a sign-up sheet to get names who are interested in fighting for this cause or fighting forward for degentrification here in Los Angeles primarily. The first property as Meeting of the Minds we're going to move towards is that liquor bank, and share the ups and downs of it, if we're successful or not. And even if we're not successful, that doesn't stop the forward progress. That's only the first no. You still can push forward. You can still move past that and go after a different property, go after something else. Every situation is different. Every housing is different. This property right here may be foreclosed, but someone's already got a higher bid on it. The property right next door could be open. No one's even thought of it. Probably even a better space for you in what you're trying to do. So that being said, let's move into some interesting events and petitions currently going on that I feel like need to be shared for not only the people in my Zoom audience, but for you guys as well. If you're located here in Los Angeles, these organizations are going to be very, very beneficial and useful to you. So first one was, we have Occupy Lamart Park on October 4th, 2020. There's going to be there's going to be a citywide protest here in front of Lamart Park. I was not able to find the organizers of this event on the flyer, but I love the idea because, I've been talking to a couple people of what Lamart Park was. It was the background for that show, Moesha, I believe, and a couple other shows. It's just a very, very well-known staple. And currently they have bars around the actual park and are in the process of turning it into a dog park, which I feel is just so sad. The people who have lived in Los Angeles for years and years and years tell me it's just so much beautiful history with it. And I if there's anything I can do, I will. So that being said, if you are available on Sunday, October 4th, 2020, please come out to Lamart Park and join them in this cause of just letting the government know that this isn't a piece of property they can just rip from us. This is true history and true heritage is here. Even the area around it, I forget what it was called. I think it was called Black Hollywood is what a lot of people refer to it as. Black Hollywood was the one-stop shop. It sounded like Motown, where you can get your hair license, beauty petition license, and be able to walk out of there with the best degree in beautician possible. And what that sounds like is phenomenal. The business, the food business that were there, it's a lot of history. Also, man, I meant to send this to my other phone, but I had an article. There's also another organization I was going to shout out, but as I find that, I'm gonna continue forward. Down, down, thumbs up. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see the screen? Down, down. Okay, hold on. 1 second. 1 second. So I'm gonna stop the share, and we are going to get this back. Okay, can y'all see it now? Thumbs up. Alrighty. So the next organization, current petition going on, is Downtown Crenshaw. Now, Downtown Crenshaw, I just found out about a few days ago, but their organization looking to actually buy the Crenshaw Mall that is in Crenshaw. So if you go and take the bus past Lamart Park, you're gonna come across this big old building, currently in construction with the current train station being built, but it's this big old building with a Macy's and a movie theater, and it doesn't look like it's open right now. But what that is the Crenshaw Mall, and it's been there for quite some time. But now after COVID, it looks like it's running out. It's not as fluent as it used to be, and it is currently up for sale. So this organization is a group looking to, come together and acquire the Crenshaw Mall and redevelop it using principles of community wealth building. What they're trying to do is they're trying to buy this mall and revamp it with stores and local businesses. And I honestly think that's like one of the coolest ideas. And if you guys in the Instagram chat, or you guys in the Zoom call or YouTube want to go and support them, their website is www.downtowncrenshaw.com. Downtown Crenshaw, they actually on this Saturday, have a Zoom meeting where they're going to reveal their full step-by-step plan of how, once they purchase the Crenshaw Mall, what they plan to do with it. And I honestly think it's pretty cool. They made an effort and a true push to let people know, hey, what do you guys want to see? What do you want in the mall? And instead of just saying, oh, we're gonna buy it and just flip it to this, they're asking people in the community, yo, what do you guys think is missing? What do you guys want? What is needed? And I just honestly think that's really, really dope and really, really cool. I know I'll be attending that Zoom call for sure. But yeah, so all the information from them is right here. And that is going to be it. Now I want to open the floor up to our Zoom members, and for anyone maybe in the chat that may have any questions, wants to open discuss, want to bring anything up, anything they find important. I am all ears. I am just thankful that everyone who has chosen to be here today, everyone who has made the effort to just come out, it means the absolute world to me.
Hi. There's just one thing I want to contribute. Don't forget the seniors in that area. It would be good to do a survey of the seniors.
A survey of the seniors on Crenshaw, or the survey of the seniors just in our Los Angeles area?
Well, if you choose Crenshaw, then I would think you want to talk to Crenshaw seniors. You'd be shocked how much of a resource they really are. Being a senior, of course, I got to bring that up.
Yeah. The biggest issue I've had, though, is looking for the seniors don't have apparently they don't necessarily live in this district. They've moved out a little bit more north. They move, but they don't live on the said block. I will say there is one part of Crenshaw I wouldn't say is more senior resided, but it is. You can tell it's a little bit more. Actually, let me try to find it on the map, but it's a little bit more. Is dilapidated the right word? Just not up to. It's not up to the same standards as Hyde Park or Lamar Park would be. Let me see. Let me try to find that. Google Maps. This area, if I had to guess, is where more not elderly, but older, the older community would live. This part of Crenshaw. Got your housing units over here. It's a little bit more run. It's like you can tell the yards need to be trimmed a little bit more. There's a church right here. But if I had to guess, if anywhere where older folks will live, it'd be on this part of Crenshaw and 150th Street. Again, I'll probably need to fact check with more people who actually live here, and I'll go down this area myself. But this is where I would assume the older folks will live. But again, I don't feel, from what I know, that the older folks are living on this part of are living on Crenshaw. All they're more or in the more towards Baldwin Hills.
Are they going to take any of that land to build the railroad, the transit?
The only land that's being taken right now is this is, for what we know, this is all they're taking for the railroad construction. They're not taking these actual houses. Now, they're not up for sale yet, so we don't know. Say this gets built, gentrification comes in, their rent rises out, and then they turn these into new types of high rises. That's a possibility. But as far as we know, as far as the information that's been provided to me, and that that is common, they've only used this land here in the middle, miles down and miles back for the train station. All right, I'm open for more questions if they are available. I'm gonna open the door for another 3 more minutes. See where we go. If we don't get anywhere from there, then I say this has been a very successful meeting. YouTube, Zoom, Instagram audience, I do really appreciate you again for coming out. But if you're in the Instagram, throw me something. Throw me some hearts. Throw me a question. I'm here. Zoom, if you're here, you have anything else you want to expound, please, I'm open. Let's open the conversation up. Anything that you still want to know, anything that's still unclear for you, let's open the doors. Let's open those conversations up.
Portland had said something, but I couldn't hear it a little earlier.
Portland, you hear? Oh, no.
Oh, no. I was just, everything you said, Morgan, was fine. I just a resident. A lot of those places that you talked about, they are like on 54th Street. It's actually a lot of elderly within the community going east of Crenshaw. A lot of those apartments right there are like associated with that church, and obviously Doolin's is right there, the sit-down restaurant.
Bring that back.
Are you going to give us a report from your meeting next time?
What? I'm sorry.
Will you report to us what happens at that meeting that you're going to next time?
Yes. Actually, what I'll do, I'm going to report it here next month. But what I also will do is, if you are not already subscribed to my mailing list, I will give it more detailed analysis. Actually, not even on my mailing list. Join my blog. My blog on my website's a little bit more open, a little bit more direct, fast I can get to you guys. Like send out just like a tweet. Stay tuned for my blog. I will give a very detailed analysis of not only what goes on in that meeting, what they're planning to do, but how I can, if you're not there, how you can make your impact or help as well. So I'll be well. I want to say this was an excellent first step. Let's put it like that. This is an excellent first step to a climb up an amazing mountain that we all need to take. It's gonna better not only you, me. I mean, I'll be honest. After this is now the third meeting of the minds. I feel more confident in myself than I've felt in a really long time, and I feel like it's just a newer sense of what's the word? Of independence, I guess. Newer sense of independence. Just me knowing that I'm moving towards a positive goal that's not only bettering me, but I feel like this information, if not today, tomorrow, next week, next year, is going to benefit somebody else. It means the world to me, and I guess that's the real pride and joy I take from this. So again, Instagram crowd, this is my last time saying it. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all for popping in. I'm gonna see y'all later. I bid you adieu. And alrighty, boom, and that's being shared.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Thank you so much for popping in, bro. Portland, thank you so much for coming up as well. Oh yes.
You did an amazing job, bro.
Hey man, and that now just leaves us one-on-one Instagram audience. Again, this has been such an enlightening experience for me. I don't know what more I could really ask for. You know what I'm saying? You don't need much. Let's put it like that. You don't need much to move forward. You don't need much to start the avalanche. You know what I'm saying? Like, if anything, something I really learned is not how many people you have in your corner, it's who you have in your corner, and how many people, and not how many people, but the character of those people in your corner, because they're reflections of you. So don't let these hiccups in your life, starting a project, or just wanting to achieve something stop you. Like, move forward and move with purpose. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who you're going to touch. You don't know who is listening at the end of the day. So I thank you so much for tuning in. Again, I'm going to say this every single time. You can be anywhere in the world, but you chose to be here. You chose to watch this video. You chose to tune in. And there's nothing more I can ask for than that. I just hope that you take away the gems that I came here to bring. So I bid you adieu and a good night. Stay blessed. I'm going to talk to you guys soon.